Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm hoping that you having a good morning. Ah, Luna and I had a good walk. She was a little skittish at a couple points in there, but she continued on. She soldiered on. So that's always a good thing. Means she's growing, she's getting a little better, getting a little more confident in herself. She's still a young lady. She's only 4 years old. 4-year old. So she's becoming quite the lady. Oh, she wants me to throw before I even have a sip of my coffee. Let me do that. All right, now I can have a sip of my coffee. Mm. Oh, Luna, it went underneath. Come get it. There we go. Good girl. Mm. Yeah, get that coffee to get me started. I hope you have something to get you rolling this morning. Uh, Luna, like I said, Luna had a good morning. We had a good walk. Well, I talked a little bit about AI programs, and I think one of the things that I'm hoping the AI programs, excuse me, can help us out with is keeping our heads looking long term. The One of the problems we seem to have is we focus in on small things that happen, when in truth there's a flow. There's It's big channels of energy and change that actually make more difference than anything else. Now, I know some people worry about that too, but they get wrapped up in the small things people say or small things people do. And they think that that really makes a big difference, when in truth, it's the big things that make a change. I'm going to pick on somebody, I mean, some country that's not the United States, that right now we're picking on quite a bit, only because there's pretty visible picking onness. And so the country I'm going to pick on is China. So China has two things that they've done that have significantly changed the way their future will unfold. First thing that China has done is they have reduced their population. They have, oh geez, hold on. I wish you would lay it up there. It's so much easier for me to get. You drop some and then I have to go pick them up or run after them. So, China, yes. Much better, Luna. Thank you. Oh, shit. Oops, sorry. I hit the roof. Made a mess. Was trying to throw the ball up a little bit, and I whacked the top of my roof uh, in here. So, so China wanted to reduce their population, get it more manageable. They knew their growth was too high. And this it might be a good thing for them because their land mass is a little too small to support the population they have. They have become very dependent on external resources to keep their country functioning at the level it's functioning. They're, they import lots of stuff. They export lots of stuff, but mostly they don't process. It's not stuff they've got in China that they process and export. It's stuff they import, process it, and then they export it. So that being said, yeah, they probably could use a little reduction in headcount uh, to make their country sustainable without external inputs from other countries. But well, along those lines, they created something called a one-child policy where each couple could only have one child. And that really affected uh, what's going to be happening in the near future. They have a huge number of people getting older, but not a huge number of replacement people coming in to take their jobs. So it's becoming problematic. It's going to be difficult for them to make that transition. That was something, it doesn't matter who's in charge now. It has no matter whether they're communist or socialist or democratic. Nothing will affect that population change. It's a done deal. And yes, they can make changes now to try and increase it, but that won't help for 20 years, 30 years. So the really truth of the matter is that change was done quite a long time ago. That change is actually happening in quite a few countries. There's quite a few countries that have resolved to reduce their population, or just that the population has reduced the amount of children that they had. Uh, Change this up a little bit. There we go. So this big tectonic thing with demographics, that's the big stuff. But we get, and it's really, really important. It changes things. The other thing is, just like I said, China doesn't have the resources they need. They're very dependent on external stuff. That is not going to change. Doesn't matter who's in charge, doesn't matter what's going on. It's just a fact. You're where you're at has benefits and drawbacks. And that's what people don't seem to understand, that it doesn't matter if your president is pro-union or anti-union. It's not really making that much difference. Really doesn't. People are going to, in the long run, do things that are beneficial to them, but they're the things that they can do to benefit themselves, to benefit others. It's a monumental shift one direction or the other. The amount of times that something has changed things so dramatically that they actually impacted everything that was going on has been very limited. And even then, the industrial age and now the information age still takes tons of time. Um, And it does make changes. I mean, for instance, I have a Android phone and I'm doing this video on, and most of the people that watching this either have an Android or a iPhone. And 20, 30 years ago, we all had uh, Nokias and shoot, I had a Razor from Motorola. There was almost nobody had an Apple phone or an Android phone. It was a phone from a different manufacturer. So things like that has made enormous change in the connectivity in the world. But even that took at least a decade, decade and a half. It wasn't because the Democrats were in power or Republicans or something like that. It had nothing to do with it. It had to do with innovation and change and the desire to have a more interesting thing in your pocket, something that could do more than just make a phone call. So, you know what? I'm going to talk about how phones change everything because I'm more of a technologist anyway. I can probably shed a little more light on that. I'll do that. I'll do my next video on that. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.